Today we have architect Rakhi Makhwana with us. She's an award-winning architect from Mumbai, known for her high-end interior projects. So Rakhi, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
I am very good too. So thank you very much for giving us your time today. And
Pleasure.
yeah, it's really a pleasure. We have done a lot of talking on this. So let's get started. And so you are an architect, and I would also want tell that you wanted to be an interior designer. So tell me your journey.
I was always a creative person from my childhood, and I wanted to have some concrete degree before I start my career. And architecture, being a very technical degree, also it gives you a little more stronger background to start anything. And so I did my architecture from Sir JJ College of Arts, and it was a great experience. And being an architect, it kind of helps you understand the project with a little larger spectrum. And so even though you may want to do interiors, it really helps when you have the knowledge about the buildings, about the architecture, and it totally changes your perspective in terms of the overall vision for the project. So it was a great beginning to do architecture and then get into interiors.
You have started your own studio. So could you just tell me that, when did you start that and what did lead you to start your own studio?
So from very early on, I wanted to start it on my own. But at the same time, I also knew that I needed to create like a really strong foundation for my experience, and then only I wanted to start. And I think I've been really fortunate enough to start my career with like really good practices. I started my career with Kamal Malik's office, and then I went on to join Nitin Parulekar Architects. And I've really, all throughout my career, I've handled various different projects. And I was really lucky to get the kind of experience, the kind of client, the kind of people that I interacted with during all my projects, all throughout while I was working with all these practices. And I was heading a studio at Nitin Parulekar, where I was already handling different kind of projects, and that really gave me the confidence to really start on my own. And when I started, I already had about good 10 years experience. So I started with the studio in 2011, and we've done some very good projects since then. So it's been quite a rewarding experience.
That's really nice to know. As you mentioned, you do a project from different segments. So you are very versatile in your approach of work. And as a designer, how would you explain the key aspects which are similar for these different segments and which vary?
So basically, I think all the projects, like different segments like hospitality design, commercial design, retail design, they all are different technically speaking. And so whenever we start with, so in the studio, we have a very process driven approach. So the work happens in well defined stages, and hence the first stage of any project is really a lot of design research. And so basically, when you're doing design research, it's different for all these different headings, and that really helps to form, like a really good foundation to begin with. And when it comes to design and aesthetics of the project, it is there. I think it's not very different once you are really good at design and you have that, really um, specific eye for detail, then it all becomes very easy. So I think the good amount of work happens at the very initial stages when it comes to the technical planning and spatial planning for these different categories. And in terms of the aesthetic, I think it's about following a certain style for that particular project, and then it just flows into the right segment.
Based
And
on your okay, please go ahead.
so we have done, as a studio, we've done lot of different projects. We've done in retail segment. We've done projects like shop design, very high-end shop design. We've also designed common areas of large retail spaces like a mall area. And even in hospitality segment, we've designed banquets, we've designed lounge areas, we've done planning for a hotel lobby area. So these are all very different areas. We've also done commercial design. In commercial design as well, there is office design, various scales, and even common areas of commercial building. So these are very, very different scales as well as spaces, and it's really exciting. In fact, it's we love this sort of a challenge in the studio, that we really want to do very exciting work. And when the segments are different, it is it kind of keeps you on your toes, and at the same time it's exciting. So it's we've been doing different segments, and we would like to continue to work that way.
Based on your this answer, I just had a one question. So can I ask you?
Yes, yeah, please go ahead.
See, you said you do design and like the creation of the design in the initial stage. So, in that respect, I just wanted to understand, like, do you believe in having a key design signature or a design style, maintaining all your design, or do you think that no, it's not required?
I basically believe that we are designing for a particular client, and for us, that becomes kind of the center stage of the project. And so we don't really stick to a very specific style of design, saying that, oh, this is my signature style and I work only in this way. I think it's really all the projects can be different when you are designing for different people with different style, and we like to bring in the character of the business that we are working for, or a specific client we are working for. I think, like, say for example, if you're doing someone's house, the house really needs to reflect that person's personality and their lifestyle, rather than what I am doing. So we really pay a lot of attention to what is the brief that the client is asking for, and what the brief becomes kind of the center stage.
So, please go, share with us one of your favorite projects, like that you have done and you feel very happy about it.
Um, that way, all the projects are favorite, and but one particular project I would really like to talk about, and that project is Artgill House. So this is basically here it's a project where we've designed the common areas of a commercial building, and here the client was very clear about what, as the name suggests, they wanted to create a destination where art meets business. And so the brief was to create a look which is very different than a standard commercial building interiors, and which is what was like really exciting about this particular project. And this building was very unique. It had it's a long organic structure with two lobbies, and so basically what we've created is there are art installations which are incorporated as a part of the design. So if we see both these entrance lobbies, they have their own unique character, and in the interior design of that space, we've incorporated an installation. So in the first lobby, the installation is kind of taking form of a ceiling, where we created a very unique ceiling design, and which is actually made with 3 inches wide acrylic strips, which are independently hanged from the ceiling with a hook. And if you have a look at the picture, you'll really understand that it was a very, very complex installation, and it required a lot of efforts on our part in terms of the drawings, and in terms of sitting with the contractors to really help them out and understand that how technically, because the installation was so complex, that we really had to be there to really see how it is being done, whether it is looking the right way, whether they are understanding what we are trying to convey in terms of drawings. And it really needed us to make very, very precise drawings as well, and which we had done. Like, we're really proud of the kind of drawing package that we had made for this project. And in terms of the look also, the spaces come out really different than than any other project that we've done. It's very arty, and it is full of installation. And so some of the installations were part of the fixed element of the spatial planning, and at the same time the client had curated collection of art, and which is also placed at various locations. And this is what makes it very unique. And there are a lot of such elements in the project. So whenever our design philosophy is, whenever we want to work on any project, we are kind of trying to create elements which will strike an emotional connection with the people who are going to use the space, and which is where it becomes very personal. It becomes a space where people who are visiting it remembers it later on also. And many a times we really try and go back to the space and see whether we've successfully achieved this aim or not. And in case of this building, I really visited the building several times even after handover. And even if you will interact with people, I think the occupiers are really kind of proud of the space that they have been given, and which is what we really enjoy. So that is what I was trying to explain earlier, that we don't believe in a specific style, but with every project we want to create a solution which really helps people who are going to occupy it remember, have an emotional sort of connection and a sense of pride about the space. And so specifically, even for this Art Guild House, the other unique part of the project was that it had a lower ground space. So which is it has two atriums, and both the atriums are connected on the lower ground floor. And we've really created a space which is like landscape courtyard on the lower ground floor. And in this courtyard there are various elements, like there are meeting areas, there are lounge areas. Meeting areas are done very differently. Like, you have a gazebo. It's not like an enclosed meeting area, but you have like a gazebo, and the meeting area is kind of within that space. And which is really an exciting space. And if you go after the building has been occupied, it is so amazing to see that people are preferring to have meetings more in these gazebo spaces and the courtyard areas rather than their own offices. So it really created that very nice space which is semi-formal, and it is fun to be in. And as we can see the images, we can see that there are these really interesting meeting areas. And the other unique part about this building is, and which happens actually in all our projects, like, we really try and create the scale of this project was very different. So when you're talking about atrium spaces, what becomes important is not only how you perceive the atrium space from an eye level on the ground level, and how it looks when you go up and when you're looking down at the atrium from higher levels. And I think we really had to think about various aspects as to how our railing is going to look when we look from top down, how the flooring pattern is going to respond, how the flooring pattern was going to interact with all these lounge areas, So these are various aspects which we really had to look upon. And as the picture shows, like we've created compositions which are really kind of going well, and the users are really happy with the space. So I think there's that experience is very exciting when you see very happy users, and that's what we strive to achieve.
Yeah, as you mentioned, I have been to that place, and that place looks amazing. So, and it's very different from the normal commercial places you can stay in Mumbai.
Right.
And but also just wanted to understand, since you are so much specific about the detailing and the the connection and the personal touch, so procuring or sourcing the right products for the projects also becomes very important. So what is your
Absolutely.
view on this? Because currently we are in a lockdown stage. Other than that, also in the way forward, what do you think will be the new way of looking at sourcing?
I think the new way, the new normal for everyone is going online and depend on the internet to really make this very functional. Of course, there are certain aspects which one needs to really experience by touching, feeling the texture, what kind of uh, the grains are there and things like that. But at the same time, a lot of it can happen online as well. A lot of companies are doing currently all the sourcing online, and I think that's going to be the key aspect moving forward.
Raki, we have worked with you in the past, where we have sourced products for your project, and currently we have also launched our website where we are having almost 500 products there. Sorry, 500 brands and 50,000 plus products there. So, have you visited our website? And if you have, then can you just share your experience on that?
I mean, my experience of working with you guys have been great, and I've seen the website. It's a very nice website, and I think that will really help people to make sourcing very easy, and it's really easy to browse through, and there are various options available. So I think it's going to be great then sourcing online.
Thank you so much, Raki, today for being with us. Really had a lot of nice conversation and also your experience on your project.
Thank you.
Thank you.